So it is finally official. Trading is finally coming to Grow a Garden, and obviously this is going to be the next update. So if you're not, preparing for this right now, you're going to be a bit left behind. So, or even worse, you could get scammed. So obviously in today's video, I'm going to be showing you everything you need to know and just do right now to, just pre-fire the trading update that's going to be coming. So starting off, obviously on Twitter, they did just now post. Let me scroll up a bit. That's not what I meant to do. But as you see, they finally posted as promised. Here it is, coming this weekend. Trading is coming. So, and another thing to note, I'll show you the video in a second, but Jandel made a video himself and he showed how the trading mechanic kind of works. So not only are there multiple different things you can trade, but a bit of an like a little parameter around it. So I'll show you that in a second. But so trading is finally confirmed. And while, we don't have the full detail around it, I'll be giving you all the information we do have in regards to it. If you can trade seeds or not, because I know that's a big concern. If you can trade seeds or not, if you can trade whatever, I'll be covering all of that. But another thing to note is here's a little to-do list. So for the first part, I would recommend stacking up on seeds. So in case, trading, which I will cover later in the video, if you can trade or not, in case it is going to come, you do want to try to stockpile as many seeds as you can. So the best thing around this, most likely, whenever it comes out, you can do a lot of basic stuff. So around, automation with macros on alt accounts and all this sorts of stuff. So you can automatically buy, random seeds like beanstalks, ember lilies, and all this. And then say, for example, trading does come in, you can just trade this all over to your main account or pets and all that. Now, the next thing I would recommend is also farming gear. So obviously I don't want to say farming pets because that seems a bit, dumb, considering pets aren't actually, you can already trade pets and plants themselves, but what you can't trade is seeds and gear and, cosmetic crates and all that. So the next thing is you should try to grind as much gear as you can. So this would be like, say, for example, this is what I'm going to do. If the level up lollipop comes in stock, right? This is not a frequent thing and it is very overpowered. So what I would do is buy it on my main account, switch to my second account, buy it there, switch to my, third account, buy it there. Then I can just trade it all over to my main. And now my main has, that many more rather than just one, which is going to be how overpowered this is. And then say, for example, like recently, I was notified by my amazing stock notifier Discord server, which you should totally check out. That'll be in the description. We have a stock notifier that'll notify you on the seeds, egg, and gear. I was notified that the strawberry, whatever the crap it's called, was in stock, and I was able to obtain one at the Elder Strawberry. And in doing so, I bought it like a good person, but I also bought it on multiple other accounts. And in doing so, right, say the thing only comes in stock 4 or 5 times, a week, like it's just that rare. But, now on top of this, we also have multiple alt accounts. So bought it on all the alt accounts, right? Every time it comes in, I can buy it on all of my alt accounts unless I'm already AFKing. So then once I have the chance to, with the trading system and mechanic, just give them all to my main and just essentially double or even triple the amount of the plants you actually have. Now, the next thing to note, so for example, right, the Bone Blossom, it was pretty rare. And obviously, it got pretty pay to win when the extra quest came out, but a lot of people farmed Bone Blossoms. But another thing is a lot of people duped Bone Blossoms. So there's a lot of Bone Blossoms just in general, right? Another thing around that main, mechanic and idea is you can most likely now trade for higher value seeds. So in doing so, another thing that was shown in the screenshot, if I can pull it back up, is as you see, it also says shekels. So you can add shekels into the trade. So I'll zoom in a bit just so you can see. I'm actually just probably going to open this in a new tab. So as you see right here, you can add shekels. So if you've ever seen the trades, right? So I'll go to my trading server. We have a pretty decent trading server, by the way. People all the time, they'll be trading like all these random plants and stuff. And then some people, if I can find one, like this kid's just absolutely spamming. But some people will say that they're trading currency as in shekels, not any cross trading. Don't burn me at the stake, Jandel, for saying that. That's not at all what I said. They are trading shekels, the in-game currency. And in the way you do that is pretty much you get a ton of that one plant and you estimate the value of the amount you have. So for example, if the plant you have, say you have like 20, 30 of a plant worth, in trillion, now you have, 20 or 200 to 300 trillion value in plants. So then your offer can be buying pets for, 200 or 300 trillion shekels. Now, rather than this being a pain to do, you can trade stuff through that. So as you see, I have 2.6 something quadrillion. I used to have like 4 quadrillion until I accidentally auto-click restock the Zen shop. I'm kind of really regretting that now because I spent like 1.5 quadrillion. Don't do that. Make sure you have your auto-clicker disabled. But another thing to note, once again, this is going to allow you to trade for seeds, and you can even buy seeds. So you could start to see, you know, the Candy Blossom that totally got outmatched by like the Bone Blossom. People could trade that, right? I personally want to get the just old seeds I missed out on. So like, I want to try to find someone who could trade me the Bone Blossom, because I know, right, there's a seed dupe earlier and a lot of people got a ton of Bone Blossoms, but in the process, a lot of people got a ton of Candy Blossoms. So if I could find someone that would let me, you know, buy a Candy Blossom seed off of them, that'd be amazing, especially considering the recall wrench, you know, is a thing. So I could find someone that would, you know, recall or reclaim the seed, or not recall wrench, reclaimer. I'm an idiot. The reclaimer thing, you know, right? They give me a Candy Blossom seed and I'm like, sweet. You know, in return, I'm going to leave the server real fast. Just kidding. That no longer is a thing. Once again, that is the next thing I would like to cover. Is scamming is going to be a thing of the past. And as a note, something you should keep in mind is not only will scamming still obviously be doable, it's just going to be way dumb, to say the least. So normally, right, you got to be like the kids that are like, I'm not going first in this trade, right? There's a lot of kids that do that. It's really annoying. But what we're going to be looking at is probably, this is in a lot of games. Like, I know back when I used to play, I know Pet Simulator, there was scams where they would like max out the amount of trades slots. And then they'd be like, oh, I'm going to give you the rest, you know, I'll give you the rest of the pets, right? I just got to, you know, finish this trade and then I can add the rest and, you know, just give you them practically for free. So they'll like trick you into accepting the trade and then they'll leave the server. So for example, right, if say you can only add in like 10 things to the trade at once, what you could see is someone fill up the trade with a lot of volume and just garbage stuff, make you add your own plant and then, or whatever. So say example, you're trading a raccoon, right? You could trade a raccoon and then they're like, oh yeah, I'll give you the raccoon, but they've put in like a bunch of golden labs or something. And then they're like, no, I'll give you the you know, dragonfly or whatever I promised, but I just, you know, just giving you these for free, but just accept the trade, you know, and I'll just, you know, do a new trade and I'll give you the dragonfly, right? You'll see probably stuff like that. That's really all I can imagine coming of it, but definitely something like that. So just be aware of things like that. If they're not very directly open, because obviously a lot of basic scams are just going to be gone. Once again, this is still, you know, totally, there's going to be scams that come around it. Some might be smart. Some like that might just be blatantly dumb, but that's pretty much most of that. Now, are seeds going to be tradable? This is a question I've been seeing in regards to this on TikTok. So let me find the video. So on the video, as you see, right, I'll just, you know, play it. I think I muted it actually. So as you see, he goes into his inventory. Also, by the way, this is what it's going to look like. So you have like the trade UI. As you see, if I can get it right when he pauses it, I don't think I can zoom in. Actually, what I can do, take a screenshot. It's way nicer on my phone, but I'm going to take the screenshot real fast, open this up, zoom in, enhance, and you can see the word seed. Now, obviously right here, we got like peach seed, banana seed. Obviously you can't really see it, but one thing to note is you can trade seeds out of this, because most likely what it's going to be is just your whole inventory, right? You can select something, anything in this you can trade. So I could trade burning bud seeds. I could trade, you know, the soft sunshine seed, whatever the crap that is. I could trade, you know, you name it, sugar apple seeds, things like that. So you're going to start to see a lot of seeds in rotation with trades and just value in general. But once again, that's pretty much all we have in today's video. Make sure you do comment down below what you think, you know, improvements they could make on this system, if you think this is a good update. Also, I think, in my personal opinion, what they should add is like a safety feature, right? Where if you accidentally accept, like there will be a little bit of a countdown, right? So where you like accept and then it's like 3, 2, 1, trade completed. Because I remember Pet Simulator added that to their core trading function, just to prevent people tricking you into clicking trade or stuff like that, just to you know, make trades more, you know, less scams, I guess. But once again, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.